All right. What's going on, everybody? I'm Katie Waffles, and you guys are listening to the Waffle Squad podcast, the first ever
premiere pilot episode.
premiere episode 1.
Should get a
Anyways, I'm Katie Waffles, like I already said. This is going to be a podcast all about gaming and waffles.
Of course.
Here are my lovely co-hosts, Mr.
We can't see who you're pointing to.
I'm pointing at you.
On my screen, she's pointing at you.
I'm pointing at you.
I'm down below, like Jan from the Brady Bunch.
All right, so I'm Guido, in case you didn't know. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you about me. I'm yeah, cool. Let's move on. I don't know.
We'll move on. All right. What's going on?
And I'm Jimto. I am also cool, just like Guido. And don't have too much else to say about myself right at the moment.
Yeah.
I have a question for you guys, though. Have you guys ever been on a podcast?
I have
I
been.
think you have, Guido, right?
I
Would you
have,
say,
yeah.
Kate?
Both Guido and I have, yeah.
I've been on one before, but I've never actually, like, where it was like our own thing. I was a guest. on a
Same.
Yeah, oh,
podcast.
totally. I was a guest on mine too. Yeah.
All right. Let's get into
So
it.
so none of us are podcast virgins at least, so that's good. So we're all broken
We're
in
not
and stuff.
exactly veterans either.
No, we're not. So anyways, welcome guys to the show. I think we're gonna have a good time talking about games. We're gonna talk about current events. We're gonna talk about all the newest stuff that's going on in gaming, and we're gonna talk about some old gaming. Maybe throw in some old gaming there too. But and don't forget waffles. There's always gonna be waffles because they're clearly superior to pancakes, right?
They've got the pockets to hold the butter.
Exactly. They got the
They're OCD
pockets.
pancakes.
And you can put like chocolate chips in them and stuff. Come on, hands down. So anyways, if you guys watch Katie Waffles, I have my own channel on Twitch. I'd say I'm a hardcore gamer. I love games. I love talking about games. I like trying new games, although I'm not gonna lie, I have been known to get stuck on Dark Souls a little bit and anything from FromSoft. So, like, I'm a little bit biased when it comes to that, but for the most part, like,
Obsessive, I think, would be
okay, obsessive. Whoa, let's chill out with the O word. But besides that, like, I like games. I always have when I was a kid until probably I'm a old wrinkly woman. I'm gonna be playing games and I'm gonna be talking about them. So there you go. That's why I'm here. How about you, Jim?
I'm here to talk about games, of course. There's a lot of podcasts out there about gaming, but none of them have really hit that little niche that I'm looking for of good content, but good stories, good experiences at a decent, time frame. I don't want a 4-hour podcast. I don't have time for that. I mean, who's got time for that? We got lives, we got jobs, and I want to talk about games with my friends. And the opportunities I have for that are actually pretty rare nowadays. I would call myself a hardcore gamer as well. I don't have as much time recently to game as I would like. But if I could date myself a little bit, my first console was an Atari 2600. My brother and I played combat for hours and hours and hours. And I look back at it now and it's like fucking squares. Like flying around. That's all they are. Literally.
Yeah, but you would.
But
Sorry,
the best.
go ahead.
No, you're fine. But at the time, we didn't know any better. It's kind of like the dawn of a new age of entertainment, I guess, if you want to look at it that way. And I just kind of progressed from there. I never had an Intellivision or anything like that, but I had friends that did, so I've played all those. The NES was a pretty big part of my life when I was younger. SNES was in there, and I just kept moving right on up through Sega. Never had a Master System, but I started at the Genesis there, and I kind of went up all the way through the Dreamcast. And today, mostly game on a PS4 and an Xbox One. I do some PC gaming, but not nearly as much as Lady Waffles or I'm sure Guido. But let's talk about games. What are you up to, Guido?
Before you jump in, let's all go ahead and agree that everybody still wants an Atari. If I could get my hands on a working Atari, I would love the shit out of it. I'm just going to throw that out there.
I'm sure you could find one.
Probably.
How much are you willing to pay? Jeez.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah, I didn't have that gaming experience growing up. It was not something that my parents allowed. My first, I'll say, game system was a Tandy 1000 PC, and I remember playing Qbert and Ultima 3 or something, I don't know. Had a couple of games on that thing, like the old Sierra, King's Quest, and Police Quest, and Space Quest. Those were my early memories of gaming. We didn't have consoles. Never. The first console I had was back in 2002. I bought a Nintendo 64. That's a couple of years after it was new. So,
I like to call that the fog machine because every game was full of fog.
Oh yeah, Perfect Dark. That was the best game on that.
Perfect Dark.
But upgraded a couple of systems since then. I've got a 360 that I never turn on, and my PC, which all of my gaming is on now. But yeah, I just ever since I was young, I've always loved gaming, but it just wasn't something that happened when I was growing up. So I did tabletop D&D and war games, but other than that, I didn't really get into gaming until after I left the house. So since then, I've made some friends online, as you can see, and so now we talk about gaming this way.
Hey Guido, the D&D
brings
stuff,
a tear to my eye.
I won't cry. The D&D stuff, was that actually while you were still at home, or was that actually after you left as well?
That was while I was still at home. My first D&D game was 2nd edition back in '86.
Wow. I didn't actually start tabletop until I was probably 32, 33. I didn't actually know what D&D was until I read it in the novelization of the E.T. movie back in the 80s or whatever it was.
Wow.
But, yeah.
See, I'm totally out of the D&D thing. I've always wanted to, but like I never had the people that like wanted to teach me and stuff. So
Where I grew up, there wasn't a place to actually buy those books. So
oh, really?
Couldn't be done. I grew up in a town of 300 people. That stuff didn't exist.
Yeah,
My
for me it
neighbor
was
had
all
of them.
it was all Mario. It was all Nintendo. None of the tabletop stuff.
Nintendo was the way to go in my town.
Yeah, believe it or not, my first system was a Game Boy. If you can call that a system, it was like my first gaming device, I guess.
That was
Which one of the 17 versions of the Game Boy was it?
The brick, the brick Game Boy. Like I still have it. That thing is, you could probably beat somebody to death with it. If you need some self-defense, just go ahead and grab your Game Boy and just beat somebody with it.
Got that covered, but thanks.
Oh, well, you know. I'm just saying. So, all right. Whoa, what's going on with your face there, Guido?
I was switching screens on my monitor, sorry.
Oh, I gotcha. All right. Like, you just, like, flash bright like an alien right there. I was like, what's going on?
The truth comes
Cool.
The truth comes out. All right, so now we know why we're here. Let's get into talking about games. What have you guys been playing this week? Let's start with you, Mr. Guido, Mr. Alien.
I have been playing well, two different games: Assassin's Creed Rogue and Saints Row: Gat Out of Hell.
Okay, so Assassin's Creed Rogue, which one is that? Because they're coming out with a new one like every month. I'm having a hard time keeping track.
Okay, so it went. The third one is the like Native American. Then there was a sub-sequel to that, which was Liberation with the slave woman. And then the next one is Rogue, which is the Irish assassin that becomes a Templar.
So you said number 3?
Rogue is like number 5 technically.
Oh, okay.
And then the one after that is
Black Flag?
Unity. Oh, no. Sorry, you're right.
I was going to say, where does Black Flag fit in there?
Black Flag is number 4, which is after the Native American guy.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, I get them mixed up, and I play them. So, yeah. Anyway.
Black Flag is the only one that I have, and I've never even played it. So
I actually enjoy Black Flag very much.
Did you? All right. Well,
and so
I'll get to it.
Rogue is basically a sequel to Black Flag. It improves on a lot of the mechanics that were in Black Flag. It's a lot of fun. Still some problems, but a lot of fun. And then Unity is the one that takes place in like France, and it's the one that's broken as fuck. And next is the one that's not out yet, which I can't remember the title of.
Syndicate.
Syndicate, thank you.
Syndicate.
Yeah. So Syndicate's not out yet.
The only one that looks okay.
What was that?
I thought it looked okay.
I said I feel like I need a flowchart to tell these apart.
I know, right? It's
so
kind of like it's like
it's
Assassin's
not,
Creed is like Call of Duty is like Halo. It's just like
the worst
lost
one
track.
ever though is probably Resident Evil. Trying to follow that storyline.
I was just looking at those during the Steam sale, looking at the Resident Evil sales. I'm like, I don't even remember the last one that I played.
I do remember it was Code Veronica on the Dreamcast.
Best one ever. Hands down. Sorry. Go ahead. All right, so you're playing Assassin's Creed.
Right. So playing Assassin's Creed Rogue, and then Saints Row: Gat Out of Hell, and just having a blast with both. So definitely some mechanical issues with both, but
Gat Out of Hell is the like the mini add-on to Saints Row 5?
So Saints Row 4 is right. That's the one where you are the superhero in a like
The
virtual
Matrix.
reality world.
Oh, okay. See, I thought that was 5 for some
Nope.
reason. It's another
And then
one.
Gat Out of Hell is kind of I would consider it a DLC for 4. It's fairly expansive, but it's more its own game. So
So it's actually a DLC, not just like an add-on. Like, because
No, it's its own
when I
game,
originally heard about it, it was pretty small.
yeah, it's 6 hours probably.
Okay, so
I'll have to get on that.
I don't know. Like, I don't know how we're judging DLCs, but you know, I guess a good DLC. I guess 6 hours for a DLC isn't too bad when like a lot of games are probably like 12-hour long.
Exactly.
Depending on how hardcore you are and how long, you know, whether you sit down and just go right through it or not. But
What'd you give for that DLC, Guido? I think I paid like $5 maybe.
Oh, I think I paid $10 for the Gat Out of Hell.
on release day?
No,
No.
this
No,
was
it's been out for a while.
Okay. Well,
this was on Steam.
I was gonna say on release day, I can't imagine it being $10.
I think originally it was 40, but I could be wrong. I honestly don't remember. It's been a while.
$40. Still pretty expensive for a DLC.
But again, it was published as its own game, not as a DLC. So,
Oh.
Hmm. Still, it's a 6-hour standalone essentially.
Hmm.
It
All
just
right.
happens to kind of follow the storyline
Fair enough.
ish.
So,
yeah.
how would you say it? How would you say it stands up? Do you think it's a good game? Do you think it's like,
For
can you
10
buy it alone,
Oh,
or
yeah.
do you have to
Oh.
have the other one?
No, it's a standalone game. You can buy it on its own, and if you can get it for $10, it's definitely worth it. It's just as over the top and balls to the wall crazy as Saints Row 4. Like I said, there's a couple of mechanical issues that, like camera readjusting
Mm-hmm.
in the middle of a move and whatnot. There was one boss fight that I was in that I would get hit, which is recoverable, but I would be phased through the ground, which would kill me.
Oh.
Coming back to the boss fight, get all your abilities and everything set up, and you're ready to go, and you jump into the fight, and everything resets.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
like I
but
said,
I
there's
think-
some issues, but nothing that can't be overcome.
I think nowadays, more often than not, there's a lot of really bad glitches in games that sometimes are kind of game ending, like frustrating as hell. I don't want to say like more often than not, but like I would say more often in the last 5 years or so, I've run across a lot more glitches that just leave you just like wanting to punch a hole in the wall. And maybe it's just because I'm all nostalgic and everything, and I remember the days when like it was just Super Mario World and you know all that. There didn't really seem to be a lot of glitches. It was just kind of pretty straightforward A to B kind of thing, but
It seems like a lot of games nowadays are getting released with less quality control, having,
yeah.
I don't know,
I'm not sure
without
I
having
100%
gone
agree
through.
with that statement. I think the quality control is there. I think it's the publisher shoving it out the door. I'm sure the developers know those issues are there, which is why we have so many day one patches and week one and week two patches.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, publishers got to ship at a certain time to push the bottom line for the quarter. They have to get it out by X date, or they have to wait another 3 months. And
Yep.
the developer probably doesn't have money to wait for 3 months. You know, games are expensive to make, and those are the kinds of decisions that are made. But I think Katie's right. In the last few years, especially the last year, the amount of busted, broken
yeah.
games that have shipped
Assassin's
is
Creed.
crazy. I'm surprised we haven't seen a class action lawsuit yet. Oh, well, I guess we have. Battlefield 4.
I was gonna say it
Battlefield
wasn't.
4 or 3. There's a class action lawsuit.
Didn't they try to pull that with Mass Effect 3?
Yeah, yeah, they talked
No?
about it.
Oh, I thought that was it.
Fans
I
talked
thought they
about it.
actually did that.
With Battlefield, though, it was their own shareholders saying
Oh.
that they shipped a broken game on purpose and it caused their stock to go down and therefore costing them money.
Yeah.
I don't know how it turned out, but
I don't know. I don't really pay attention to that.
that's what we're getting. I mean, Assassin's Creed does not have a great track record recently for shipping
No.
quality product on day one.
And that's the problem
much
is
anything,
I've been
obviously.
holding on to Black Flag for over a year now, and like I was actually looking forward to playing it, and then the last Assassin's Creed dropped, and it was just like glitches like all over the place, and I'm like,
They changed the engine in Unity.
okay, well,
So they're still using the old engine for Black Flag. You're not going to have those problems.
that's fine.
But yeah,
Black
good to
Flag
know.
should be okay at this point.
Yeah.
I played that on Xbox One actually. It was I think the first game I ever digitally downloaded.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a few problems with, I clipped through the world a few times. I'd be like, swan diving onto a boat or swinging across and like trying to land on a boat, and I just fall through the floor. And I couldn't get out, so I just have to restart. And it happened once on a really, after about 5 minutes of battle, and I was done for the day. I couldn't go back.
Sometimes that's all it takes, sometimes you're having a lot of fun and then a glitch happens and it's just that right moment where you're just like, I'm so angry. I don't want to play anymore. So I'm just going to turn this off. Like, it's a great game, but
Glitches I have a little bit of patience for. Not a whole lot, but some. But
yeah.
Not like when games are like obviously stacking the deck against you. Did you ever play Puzzle Quest? Those games are really good at stacking the deck. It was basically, it's like Bejeweled where you match 3, but when you match the colors of jewels, that gives you basically mana and certain magic traits that then you can use to attack the other person. It's a really cool concept. They're really good games, but they cheat like a motherfucker. Like, very, very angry. The only reason I got as far as I did in the first one is because I was laid up for a few weeks for knee surgery, and I was high on pain meds all the time, and I just let it go. It just rolled right over me when it, where it cheated, where I was like 5% away from victory, and it makes one lucky move, and suddenly the whole board is cleared, and I'm dead. It's just, that's the kind of way it cheated. But anyway.
That's some BS. But I'm definitely gonna agree with you, Jim, on like I don't think it's so much as the creators and the designers of the game. I think it's all about the market. Like, they're being told, hey, this game needs to go out now. And they're like, whoa, like, you can't rush this kind of stuff. It needs time, but like, their hands are tied.
Yeah.
They gotta push it out. Exactly. And
And
anybody who is into any kind of IT kind of work or anything knows that computers are bitches sometimes,
right. But the thing with Ubisoft in particular that really, really pisses me off, they did with Assassin's Creed, was they put the review embargo until noon the following day instead of like 7 or 9.
Oh, yeah. I remember hearing about that.
People that were going to get up and go get it, they already done it by that time. And then certain times they don't provide review copies, much like Batman Arkham Knight did for the PC version. There were no review copies of that sent out. They only sent out the stable PS4 versions. That's what they do. It's their right to do that, but I find it exceptionally shady. And if I know that's happening, I just don't buy the game.
Instant red flag. Yeah.
Yep. I may buy it later, don't get me wrong. I will play Batman Arkham Knight at some point, but I'm not in any big rush right now.
I'm going to wait for the summer sale a year or two down the road after it's been patched a couple of times, and it's like $5.
I mean, the Steam summer sale and winter sale are literally the best things ever to come to gamers. For now, until they find some way to fuck that up, which I'm sure they will. So anyways, Jim, we've been talking about what Mr. Guido has been playing. What about you? I hear you've been playing a pretty good puzzle game.
I've been playing Sparkle Unleashed.
Yeah.
Which is, if you remember the old Zuma game, which I doubt you do, it's a little bit like that, where you have like this little curvy thing down at the bottom that holds colored balls, and they're like colored balls going through the screen on wavy patterns, and you have to try to match them to get them to disappear before they reach the end and roll off the screen. It's something that conceivably would be really good for like iOS or Android, and I kind of bought it in a fit of insanity, and since I bought it, I was going to play it, and it's not bad. It's a lot of fun if you have like 7 minutes to sit down and play a game.
7 minutes?
Or 5 minutes or 10.
I was saying it sounded like a mobile game.
Yeah, it definitely could be, but it just happened to be on Xbox One, and it was on sale. I don't know. I think I got it for like $5-6, something silly like that. So,
sometimes those simple games are the ones that you end up actually spending the most time on.
That's true. Best game in the world is still Tetris, for my money.
Oh God, I can't do Tetris. I was never good at Tetris.
Well, I'm not good at it, but it's still
I'm
the
too
best.
slow. I'm just like,
Those simple to learn, hard to master games are usually pretty good over time, I've found. Um, Other than that, I'm still working on Witcher 3. It's been a few days since I played it. I finished up the main storyline with the Bloody Baron, which I can't really go into details for fear of spoilers. It's still pretty early for that game. And
Yep.
moving on and grinding a little bit, trying to up a little bit of my stats. The thing about The Witcher 3 is that's a game where you have to like gather a lot of ingredients, and you can like brew potions and make oils, and like you can have people build armor for you. And I don't give a fuck about any of that. I just literally do not care. I brewed something once because it was like part of this is how you do this.
right.
Oh, the tutorial thing.
Yeah, but other than that, I don't care. I'm not a fucking wizard. I'm not Harry Potter. I'm not brewing anything in potions class. I just want to kill things. I want to go experience a story, and that's a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun just wandering around. The world is huge, and you can come across so much random crap just riding through the world, trying to like open up the map and try to like open up waypoint markers for fast travel. The game has like a pretty decent amount of fast travel. I just never use it. It's literally too much fun for me to just get on my horse or run across the world and see what I can get into on my own. It's really good time so far.
Kill everything on the way.
Well, lots of things kill me.
Oh, okay.
Because
Lots
I
of things
haven't
kill
really
you.
figured out which part of the world is like, these are level 4, these are level 9, these are level kill you. So usually when I find those, it's like, okay.
Yeah,
So I die a lot. But
I'm trying to watch a few videos on Witcher 3, but like I'm trying not to spoil it for me because I might want to play it. But I just I wasn't sure whether it was like linear, go ABB, ABCD, and then beat the game, or whether you could just kind of mess around. So it sounds like it's more open world.
It is open world. As open world as a video game can be.
Right.
You can play or not play the main storyline at your convenience.
Okay.
You can. I usually tend to like wander around and like, I'll go do a couple missions on the main storyline, and then I'll go do something over here, and then I'll be like, oh hey, what's that over there? Shiny, and then I'm gone for an hour.
Right. Yeah.
But it's good. There are some glitches in Witcher 3, but I bought that game and did not play it for about 2 weeks because it had a save glitch on Xbox One where it wasn't auto-saving. So you could just lose your progress. So I tend to manually save quite a bit in that game, even though that is supposed to be gone, that problem.
Right.
I do have a video, one of my Xbox clips. I was riding my horse. It was called Roach in the game. I was riding Roach up a hill. And when we got to the edge of the hill, Roach just kept riding straight across the sky. And like I kept getting like, and the land below was like a valley, so I was essentially riding straight, but the land was getting lower and lower and lower. Next thing you know, I'm above the trees, and I'm like, shit, what do I do? I don't know how to get down. So I got off my horse and I fell like 80 feet to my death.
Oh.
But that was funny enough that I didn't care.
That's kind of
Just
funny.
like that
Yeah.
you don't care about. You just
They're
have to
funny.
laugh.
Great story. I've told that story like 5 times now.
It's a good highlight. It's a good YouTube
I
highlight.
like it. Other than that, I've been playing Minesweeper on my phone. That's about it.
Oh, Minesweeper.
I'm still waiting for the Minesweeper RPG. I'm not sure how they do that, but I bet it'd be great.
I'm sorry, the what?
Minesweeper RPG. I just think somehow they should involve a very detailed, epic story on that.
Uh-oh.
Guido looks frozen to me.
Well, it looks like we may have lost one of our co-hosts. That's not good.
He'll be back.
Oh, well, he'll be back. Anyways, so The Witcher 3, that is kind of a huge deal in the gaming world right now. And I think my experience with Witcher 3, well, I have no experience with Witcher 3, but Witcher 2, I started with Witcher 2 and I got about 5 minutes into the game and I was just like, I can't do this. Like, it was so, the controls were just so ridiculous that I rage quit.
You were
during
on PC, of course.
Yeah, I was PC.
Yeah, it was horrible on the PC.
That was probably part of the problem, but like that's
I made
why
it about
when
half
Witcher 3 was announced, I was just like
I
Yep.
did play Witcher 2 on the Xbox 360. I didn't finish it, but I bet you I got a good 20 hours into it. I enjoyed it. There's nothing wrong with it. I didn't brew any fucking potions in that game either. So,
well, there you go. So PC gamers who tried Witcher 2, have
go play it on the
faith.
console. PC
Yeah.
Master Race my cock.
Don't quit just okay. Whoa. Lamb's fighting words. All right. Let's be careful there. All right. All right. Well, awesome.
You don't have to read any of the lore or the books around it. I have read a few of them, and they're actually pretty interesting. Just as far as their fantasy, like a normal fantasy would be, but it's hard to describe. But when you read it, even though there's like witches and wizards and all this other crap going on, the way it's written feels like it's very, very real and grounded in reality. Like this could actually happen in this. It's just very, very well done. You don't have to read it to enjoy the games, but it helps.
But I will say that I am a lot more likely to buy Witcher 3 now, knowing what I do now, than I was before. In fact, I'm one of these days when I finally leave my house and venture out into the sunlight, I'll be going to a store to get Witcher 3 for my PlayStation 4. Game number 3.
You can just download it, right? You don't have to leave the house.
Yeah,
you just
I
have
know.
Amazon send it to you.
I gotta have that copy, that solid copy. Like when it comes to consoles, I gotta have a disc.
Amazon.
PC games, I don't care. But consoles, I need a disc. I don't know what it is.
Gamefly.
That is, one more note about Witcher 3 was I didn't actually want to leave the house to go buy it that day. And it's like, round trip, 12 minutes or something. I didn't want to do it. So I'm like, maybe I should just buy this digitally. Because I hadn't actually bought a full digital game since Assassin's Creed. I did get the last Call of Duty with all the DLC like free, but I didn't pay for it. But so it says, it's like 25 gig. And I downloaded it, and it took like 31 gigs up, which isn't horrible, but it pisses me off that it said it'd be this much and it was, that much more. Because the Xbox One only comes with half a terabyte
Right.
on its hard drive, and I don't have an external for it yet. And I was like trying to juggle space a little bit there.
That's a big download if you don't have good internet. That's
I
rough.
have good internet actually, but it's just the fact that it ended up being 5 or 6 more gig than what they told me it would be was.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that's mildly infuriating. That's probably the systems admin in me.
When you have so many games that you're like, okay, I have just much more room for another game, and then it downloads, it's like, fuck you.
Yes, it was the double fingers.
Yeah.
So
I'm,
that's it for me. What are you
in the
playing?
process
Waffles?
of clearing off my my Steam drive.
Yeah, I need to do that. Believe me. Oh, I need to do that so badly.
I moved my Steam library over to a 4 terabyte drive, and then I haven't played it since. But I will someday.
I'm in the process of filling up a 1 terabyte drive of just games. Just games from the Steam sales. Purely from the Steam sales. No, I'm just kidding. I do buy a lot of games from the Steam sales, but let me tell you about the game that I just downloaded from this summer Steam sale. Transistor. Okay? Like, I know you have all heard about it. I know everybody, I mean, anybody who pays attention to, like, indie games, you've probably heard about it. All right, I don't give a shit about game soundtracks. I don't. I really don't. Like, whenever I get a game, I mute the soundtrack, and that's it. That's the last I hear about it. But with Transistor, that soundtrack is part of the game. Like, when you're playing that game, you need the soundtrack because it's part of that world. And, like, without that soundtrack, I really don't think that game would be that much fun because you don't have that much emotion coming at you. Like, this is a very emotional game for me. I'm not entirely sure what's going on, but like the connection that you have with the character that's created through the music, through the dialogue and everything, you're like, some fucked up shit is going on. And it's just, I am so, like, I was connected like that to the character Red, and not just because she has red hair, okay? No, because I mean, I was taken in immediately. And I was like, I want to know what's going on here. Like, I really want to know what's going on. Aside from all that, the gameplay it's kind of like MOBA meets RPG meets like kind of third person. I don't even know how to describe it. It's a completely new game style for me. Like, it's kind of like, you know how Dragon Age has the space? Like, you pause combat and you tell your characters what to do next. It's kind of like that. But, like, the combat is not easy. Like, it gets hard real fast. And it's just, I found myself totally into this game within 5 minutes. Like, I started playing it. I'm like, it's gorgeous. The soundtrack is amazing. And, like, you want to know what's going on with the main character and her sword that apparently talks, you know? I was surprised. I bought it on a whim because I was like, I heard great things about that game. Whatever, I'm gonna download it because it's on sale. And like immediately I'm just like, wow, the artwork in it is incredible. And like just how they portray the story through like little dialogue. Her sword talks to her and he'll say things, and you go to like different like terminals throughout the world, and they'll say things, so you kind of catch what's going on, but it's just like, it hits you. It's just, there aren't too many games that do that to you, that just kind of hit you like that. I'm honestly, I'm pretty blown away. There aren't that many games that I have run into that have done this to me. So, like, I cannot say enough good things about Transistor. I really can't.
You have a crush on it.
Hey, Red, she's pretty good looking. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say for, you know, an animated cartoon. She's.
Bastion was made by the same people, I think, wasn't it?
Same people.
I believe so. Yeah.
Games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has
and
Greg Kasavins there. We used to work at GameSpot many years ago.
I'm totally regretting my decision not to buy the soundtrack with the game, because that was part of the options. It's like, oh, you can buy the game, or you can buy the game and the soundtrack, and I was just like,
who does that?
Yeah, who does that? Who buys a game for the soundtrack? And now I'm like,
do that.
Oh man, come on.
I tend to listen to soundtracks when I write, so that would actually be a cool
Do
thing
you?
to have.
I would totally go back and buy it. Actually, I will be going back and buying it soon.
Katie, you have not played Bastion, is that correct?
No, I have not.
And Guido?
I played some of it. Xbox had it for like a demo for a while, and I played that, but I haven't actually played through the whole thing.
I have not either. Hopefully with part of the backwards compatibility, they'll allow the DLC games in there too.
I'm gonna have to admit something. I'm normally not like an indie game person. I usually stick to pretty big titles, like big deals. I'm kind of a big deal kind of gamer girl. I'm sorry. It's true. Like, I don't know. Like, if it's not on my radar, I just don't see it, and I don't really care about it. Like, I don't go and research for, like, the most obscure, like, indie title ever. But after playing Transistor, I think I might actually change my mind on this, and I think I might start mining the Steam library for some interesting looking titles.
Just stay away from early access.
Yeah, don't even, yeah.
I hate the concept of early access.
That's a whole nother show right there.
Yeah.
Early access.
Get into that later.
Yep.
Yeah.
That festering cesspool.
Every time I see a game on Twitch that somebody's playing, I'm like, that game looks really cool. And then I look it up on Steam and I'm like, never mind. Fuck that game.
So,
And you know which kind of game it is. It's always the same kind of fucking game. It's like, oh, okay.
yeah. So
Whatever.
you haven't played Bastion, but have you ever seen it played? Have you ever heard the narrator of Bastion?
No. Like, I know I've heard of it, but I don't know anything about it.
It's basically you have your own narrator. As you play the game narrates what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's just something silly. Like, I remember one time I was just like breaking down some structure or some junk. Nothing important, just, as you do. Like in Dark Souls, if there's a box there, you break it because that's what you do. You break
Right.
every box in sight because that's what you do.
Because
And
boxes.
the narrator was something like, the kid was mad at the world, just breaking everything in sight.
Oh, wow.
It's
Oh
just-
yeah.
It's
Really?
bizarre how well it actually works and how well it fits to what
Okay.
you're doing.
I am definitely looking forward to trying that out after I beat Transistor, when I finally beat Transistor. Okay, I will say Transistor is one of those games where you're like, I'm really into this game, and then, like, you start sucking at it, and you just, like, rage quit. It's just like, fuck this game. Like you're doing really good. And the way, like, it's not like a game where you just die and game over. It's like you lose abilities after abilities after abilities until you're just like,
You should
I
be
got
used to
nothing.
that.
Wait, you
Which
actually
Dark
lose
Souls and
abilities?
Bloodborne as you play.
Yeah, you like,
That should be old hat.
yeah, I know, but like for some reason this game just gets to me. It's just
So-
like, all right, I'm done. I gotta take a break, and so
Yeah,
I'll come back to it.
Random cuss fits at that game the way you do Dark Souls. Bloodborne.
Maybe a
Katie
little
Tourette
bit.
waffles.
Katie, I have little Tourette
Tourettles.
issues. Tourettles. I have some Tourettles when it comes to Transistor too. It's a lovely game, but oh man, it's one of those games that's so fun it pisses you off.
Yeah,
That's a
that
thing,
sounds
right? All right, it's for the
Actually, yeah, I think
masochist
it is.
gamers out there. All right, not everybody's into that. Sorry.
I'm pretty sure I played a couple of those.
Yeah. Well, to those of you who are a fan of FromSoft and Dark Souls and Bloodborne, you know all about it. But Transistor's definitely, I wouldn't say it's that bad. It's just like you don't just like how in Dark Souls you die and you just die. Like Transistor is like you lose. You have like 4 basic abilities, and like every time you lose health, like all your health, you lose 1 ability. So you're even less effective on the battlefield. And then the next time you lose all your health, you lose another ability. So you only have 2 abilities that time. So you're just like you're just,
Less and less effective.
yeah.
If
And
that game
into
were
the
a book, I would title it "How to Make Sure Jimto Never Plays My Fucking Game."
right. That would probably be
I
it.
just
But
am not very patient with that. Of course, if
No.
I just sucked less, it would be okay.
luckily, it's not like a hardcore game, so you don't have to start over every time you start over from a save point. So, like, it's hard, but it's still fairly forgiving. So you can keep going if you want to. But, damn. All right. So we covered a lot of games already.
True.
Let's check out some news real quick. E3. First, I think we should go over E3 games we're most hyped about. I'm gonna start off Dark Souls 3.
It's my
I mean-
I had
surprise
no
face.
idea you were going to say that.
Dark Souls 3. I saw that trailer and I was just like, I was fangirling like shit. I was just going crazy.
It was really well done. I mean, I'm not
I know
a
it
Dark
didn't-
Souls guy.
Yeah.
When they started playing it, I wasn't exactly sure what it was, but then I heard that Dark Souls bell tone,
Mm-hmm.
and I got excited. And I don't even like the games.
Oh, it's so excited. Yeah, I was totally psyched when I heard that. I was just, that was, for me, that was E3. Like, I love games and I'm going to play as many games as I can, but like, I don't have that much time to play games. So for me, like a Dark Souls game, that's like 6 months of my time right there. So like 2 FromSoft titles per year and I'm good. And so I think Dark Souls 3 definitely did it. I will say The Division, still pretty psyched about that, but I'm pretty sure this is like the 33 that it's been in. And
At least the second, yeah.
at least the second. I want to say 3, but it's probably only 2. But it's like, oh, come on. Let's get a release date already. Like, you should have released last year already. But, like, I'm still excited about that game. It looks cool. I want it to be a Destiny killer because Destiny. But,
Still playing Destiny.
those are my 2 E3 games. Absolutely cannot wait for Dark Souls 3. So hyped. Who's next?
Go for it, Jim.
The one I was most hyped about going into E3 that didn't really blow me away was Gears of War 4. I'm a huge fan of the Gears of War series. But, I mean, it looked pretty enough and everything, and there was a lot of crap going on, but you didn't really get enough feel for, I don't know, what was going on in the world in general. Okay, shit's exploding, you got a gun, great. That's good enough for Call of Duty. That's all I care about in Call of Duty. In Gears 4, I want a little bit more. But, I'm cautiously optimistic. Well, they've got a long ways to go. I will say quickly, I'm not a big fan of the Gears 1 remake. I know there's a lot of stuff coming with it. I don't want to pay $40 for it. That's just me. I'll wait for it to go on sale. The other game I was kind of interested about that I normally would not be was Fallout 4. I've never really been able to stick with a Fallout game, but it seems really cool. It's not very pretty, but I think that's intentional.
But
and
the
it's got a
special
dog.
Pip-Boy edition.
You can go buy the
beep,
Pip Boys. They had a
beep,
few of them
boop,
come back
boop,
in
boop, boop.
stock. All
I
you gotta do is
just,
put your phone inside it and run an app, and it'll work like a real Pip Boy.
is that what it is?
You need your phone.
Yeah,
to
the
run
app
an
runs off a smartphone.
Oh, see, I didn't even know that. I was about to order it. And I was like, I'm gonna get a fucking Pip-Boy. That yeah, I'm glad I didn't.
And I guess one other comment about E3 in general. We kind of talked about this on a more personal level, but Nintendo continues to drop the ball left and right. They have so many balls on the ground. They don't even know what to do. They're not playing the same game as Sony and Microsoft. I swear they're marketing very casual 12-year-olds and grandparents with that thing, and I just can't wrap my head around what they're doing anymore. I've just kind of given up on them. This year I was really hopeful, like surprise me, make me believe again. I want to believe you can bring them back, and
no. We were talking about it on Twitter the other day, and it's like, that was my childhood. Nintendo was it. Like, I was all about Nintendo throughout a lot of my life, and then finally this year, it's just like, I got no hope left.
They've got like 3 IPs, and they just keep
Splatoon. Splatoon looks awesome. It looks cute. Like,
It's supposed to be a lot of fun. I'll give
It
that.
looks fun, but it's like I'm not gonna go out and buy a Wii U just for one game. I'm sorry.
Honestly, I'd end up buying a Wii U for the virtual library. I bought a Wii at launch, and then the virtual library took so long to come out that I sold it to my in-laws at the time. And then I ended up buying it when the virtual store did come out later. I bought another Wii, and the games I thought were extremely overpriced, so I just sold that Wii as well.
Oh,
But I can't find a good emulator, so.
yeah, I'm very sad for Nintendo.
Yeah.
I really am. Like, I want them to be a competitor in the market, but they don't. I don't know what's going on with them.
Glory days were
Yeah, like I don't know what their goals are.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I don't even know enough about to speculate. Like I want to say I think they're doing this and I think they're going to make a comeback, but I don't think they are. They've had a couple of years to make a comeback and they've fallen flat.
I agree. What about you, Guido?
So, Fallout 4 is my primary. I've had a soft spot in my heart for that series for years, and that just looks amazing. Couple of things that I'm not sure about. You know, the dog and the
The dog?
That you can't kill. The dog cannot die.
So that's even better for those
Yeah.
of us who are very sensitive to animals. That's perfect. I don't have to worry about my dog dying. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't want to kill the dog. If
Yeah.
like Fallout 3, dog meat, if I remember correctly, could be killed. And once I acquired him, I basically sent him back home and
Right.
I actually keep him as a companion because I didn't want him to die. you know.
Yes. I did the same thing. It's like, no, dog meat, don't die.
But yeah, there's some things about that the dog in Fallout 4 that I'm hesitant on. The like city building thing, I'm not sure. It's
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. And then Mass Effect Andromeda.
I unfortunately missed I missed everything about Mass Effect Andromeda, so I'm totally in the dark about
It was
that.
a teaser.
Was it?
Yeah,
only.
they didn't show any gameplay or anything. It was just a
Okay.
teaser. So
Did you play the first trilogy, Waffles?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I want to cry at the end of the third one, like every time.
Because you
Worst
were mad at the
ending
ending, or because
ever.
it was a-
No, because it's okay. Well, there's multiple reasons. One, it wasn't the best ending. Two, it wasn't the best ending. And three, like, it wasn't the best ending, and it makes me so emotional. Like, I know that makes no sense, but like, okay. My main issue is the first two games, you build up to the Reapers, and it's just like, there are these world-ending, like, badass things, and it's just like, whoa, what the fuck are these things? And they're, like, impossible to kill, and then, like, the third one rolls around, and, like, all of a sudden we can kill them. Like, granted, it takes, like, a couple fleets to kill them, but it's just like, okay, so they're not indestructible. But then it's like, oh, we're gonna create this giant, like, bong-looking thing that will totally take them out. But it doesn't really take them out. It just connects you to this little holographic child. And it's like, the child's like, oh, yeah, you can kill yourself. You can kill everybody else. Or you can just, you know,
merge.
merge. And we're going to be good. And it's like, that was sad. Like, I think it was more sad because it was just like, this is not a fitting ending for this game. This game was amazing.
Yeah.
These Reapers are badass, and this is the ending that we get? Like, I didn't give a fuck about the whole galaxy getting wiped out, or about me dying, or about me merging with them. It was just like, you guys are awesome, and this is what happens. Like, oh, God. Like, to this day, I love Mass Effect. Like, I love the gameplay. I love all three of them. But that ending, man, that hurt. That hurt. That cut
and
deep.
now you know why the fandom hates.
See, I wouldn't go as crazy as to threaten a lawsuit and everything, but still, yeah. See, that's a little intense, but there are a lot of emotions wrapped up. I hate to say this, but there are a lot of emotions wrapped up in gameplay. I mean, it's an art form. It's what people, they go to work every day. This is what they put their souls into. So yeah, it's gonna have feeling in it.
And all of the build-up that you get through, 1 and 2, and then halfway through 3 means absolutely nothing at the end.
Right. It's not even finished. Oh, see, I would have been totally okay if, they built the Crucible and everything, and the Reapers were just like, you're dead. Just totally said, fuck you, we're gonna kill you anyways. This Crucible was just, a decoy. I would have been okay with that because the Reapers are fucking amazing. They destroy everything, so it's okay.
They lost their epicness in the third game.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So, Mass Effect Andromeda, I'm hoping, picks up where 2 left off.
Yeah.
And really, continues that where it should have. So
I think we should write a fan fiction about where 3 should have ended.
You do that.
Yeah,
It'll be your
get on that.
for next podcast. Do a live reading.
I can't write that fast.
Yes,
oh man. All right. Well, I'll do my best. I'll try to do what I can.
Any other comments on E3, Guido?
Not really. A couple of things that I would comment on if we had more time, but really it's nothing that is really important. Just little things that either irritated me or.
Oh, there's a lot that irritated me.
Yeah. So I don't
E3 E3 doesn't have the same magic this year or last year. It just doesn't. Although, the Rareware 30 for 30.
I have not seen this.
Yes.
Yeah, it's 30 rare games for $30.
Okay.
I'll have to look that up.
Rare was my...
Perfect Dark will be on there. Yeah.
Oh, God, yes. I am so looking forward. I will buy an Xbox. I will buy an Xbone. I was going to say 360. I will buy an Xbone just for that. Because Rare was my shit when I was a kid. I loved it. So, I'm pretty excited about that.
I guess one final comment on E3 that made me happier than anything was the distinct lack of QuickTime events in games. I absolutely hate QuickTime events.
No. There was the new Lara Croft.
There's some in there. But even in the first game, they were pretty much within control.
No.
It wasn't like, what was it, Rise on the Xbox One?
Did you play Tomb Raider?
I did.
Oh,
I it was
man.
In control.
Oh, it was horrible.
It got a little heavy at times for action areas, but not horrible. But when you get to the point of I think it was Rise on the Xbox One where they had the QuickTime events, and it didn't matter if you did it right or not, you just succeeded. You press the wrong button, you succeed. You
really?
Don't press it fast enough, you succeed.
Was that a glitch?
No, that was intentional. They talk about it. They were trying to lower player frustration.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of where they were already kind of jumping the shark for me at that point, but that just kind of solidified it. I'm done. I'm just done. But anyway, that's all I got.
I don't know. I was frustrated at the last Tomb Raider. It was a fun game, but at the end of the game, it's just oh, shit's collapsing, better start running. Oh, shit's on fire, better start running. It's
there were also large portions of that game where it was a woman beating simulator, I swear.
That's true too. That was a little graphic.
I played it a little too long stretches at one point. I had to kind of take a break. It It was too
That
much.
that made me a little uncomfortable at the time. The noises she made, the deaths that she had. Oh,
Yeah.
it was not good.
No.
All right, so E3 hype. Yeah, yeah. I wasn't so hyped,
Yeah, I mean,
except
there
for
were-
Dark Souls 3. Oh, and Fallout 4. LOL. Renee, give me a call. I'm sorry. Shout out. She has red hair too.
I see. If there's a character creator, I always play a
Awkward.
female, and I play with red hair. Always.
For sure.
All right.
All right. Well, I guess that about wraps it up. Everybody who's listening, who's watching, we're of course broadcasting this live. We'll be doing this about every other week. We'll be talking about whatever, like sequels. We're gonna be talking about remakes. We're gonna be talking about things like E3. Like if a big conference is coming up, we'll be talking about that too. I hope you guys enjoyed what you watched. If you got any questions or comments, Mr. Jim Toe can tell you where to go.
Yeah, if you want to keep track of the latest updates from the Waffle Squad podcast or get in touch with us, we've got a few options for you. You can reach us over at our website, wafflesquad.com. It's a little bit bare at the moment, but more updates are coming. You can contact us on Twitter at Waffle Squadcast, or you can join our group on Facebook. Just search for the Waffle Squad podcast. Give us a join, and we'll be happy to have you.
And as always, if you can't remember that, just go ahead and message me on Katie Waffles at Twitch or Lady Waffles, Lady_Waffles at Twitter. And I will go ahead and happily redirect you to the Waffle Squad podcast website. For myself, Mr. Jim Toe, and Mr. Guido, I wish you all a wonderful night. We love you guys, and we thank you for listening. And we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Night, everybody.
Later, everyone.
See ya.